Hello everyone and welcome back. I have been able to test the new talismans. Okay, except Celeste because despite I got Celeste, I don't have Celeste and Keep Meow I don't think it's worth it to test. Okay, from what I heard, the new talisman of Celeste, people is saying it's a little bit better than the second one. So this one here, people say it's a little bit better than this one. It's what we discussed before. I cannot test. My Celeste is only 75k, so it's not strong enough. I don't have any skin and artifacts I'm not yet done. Is probably the next hero I'm going to build. Okay, I wanted to build Chava, but I am not that convinced yet if I want to move Chava from a dirty Chava to a full max out Chava. So Celeste is going to be my next hero. I was working on Rufus, so I did the health of Rufus and I started doing the health of the second skin of health. And the artifacts, I have already these books that I bought from the current event that is going on. I was going to do it today or tomorrow, the book, but I am not that much convinced because already Rufus, okay, it's not like has a lot of things done, but it's already almost 900k of health, but it's not performing as good as I was expecting against Magic teams. I think it's very good maybe in defense because you never know what is going to happen, but in attack there is not that reliable because sometimes it dies for physical damage. So I don't know. Okay. Anyways, we have the other talisman here. I have not upgraded yet. Probably I will upgrade it today, but for your awareness, okay. Then I have tested already one of the talisman that I thought was nice, Phobos. Okay, magic attack was very good for him. My penetration would have been better, but this one gives Phobos armor and health. And if we go to stats, now Phobos has 370k and has 32,000 of armor, which is good defensively. And I think it has give options. Like for example, one thing that I was testing was Corvus, Dante, Octavia, everything with Dante, Octavia, Corvus with Phobos, and then I think Faceless. This is one of the teams I was testing. The other team I was testing, it was Phobos with Amira, okay, and then here Nebula, other option I was testing, okay, but in general, in defense with Dante Octavia, and it has gone, I think, well. I think it's not easy to beat. I see like was beaten yesterday, but by someone that has very high glyphs and lost two heroes against me. So when you say someone with heroes level 80 lost two heroes fighting against, particularly this was against, I believe, the faceless version, so this version, okay, and what you are seeing right now, okay. So quite interesting Phobos there. Then I got also Corvus, which the talisman of Corvus has been with 60,000 emeralds. By the way, if you are going to spend 60,000 of emeralds, always wait for the last day of the event and then use this reward boss because it's very, very, very good for only 1,800. Okay, it's not. I know you are somehow wasting 60,000 emeralds because there is not like 55% discount, but this reward is of this boss is quite good. It will give you a lot of skin stones and it will give you a lot of glyphs and sometimes you get emeralds back. So I think it's quite good. Okay, take this into account. Okay, this is one thing. So Corvus. Okay, so I will not have time to do a video. I have prepared the Tristan one because I imagine is the one that everyone is asking. The 10,000 VIP points has been Tristan, but with Corvus, this is what you get: magic defense and armor. But the thing here is physical attack was okay, not the best, but he got health, and Corvus needs health for altar. So this is very different than the version of Astaroth. Astaroth was strength and magic defense. So very good to use the first talisman of Astaroth when you fight against magic teams. And then the second talisman was health and armor. So you really get a little bit more health and then you get armor instead of magic defense, which means very good against physical heroes. So it's good because with Astaroth, depending on what you are fighting against, you can replace the talisman. It's a magic team, then I go with the first one. It's a physical team, I go with the second one. Here is different. Here you have strength, which is health, and physical attack, and then here you have armor and magic defense, right? So it's not as clearly as the other things. So I think with the new talisman, the second one, Corvus looks like a more generic tank because you have 44,000 of armor and almost 40,000 of magic defense. My Corvus is level 45, okay, so this is almost saying level 40, max out at level 40, okay, and almost 800k of health. So looks like it has good armor, good defense, could be a good hero in defense, in my opinion, a good tank, because you are good against magic teams and you are good against physical teams. It's a lot of armor. But testing it, I have not seen a big change between the previous talisman and the new talisman. Okay, I don't see too much anything that tells me it has been a big improvement. I cannot test it, but I would like to do a better test between both of them, and I will do it. Okay. Finally, we have the talisman of Tristan, and what I said during the video before testing, and I will show you right now. In my opinion, first talisman or second talisman, there is no difference. You got already the first talisman, don't take the second talisman. Okay, first talisman was strength, which is health and health, so health. And then this is armor and physical attack. Okay, so I did a video, and I'm going to do a video now with test, and I will show you. In my opinion, there is no difference. The reason I got it is not because I want it, it's because I have saved all the bundles that you need to get, like all the Tartarus bundles, all the Hero Way, all these type of things, Valkyria, everything for today. So it's not because I wanted to get it, I got it because I got 10,000 VIP points, okay? Nothing else. But this one here, I think is better, okay? For my test, of course, if Tristan is a first line hero, first talisman much better. Then the second talisman, in more cases than the first talisman, is slightly better. But you get a counter, then instant 0 will still be in a counter with the first or the second talisman. They will not be different. So if you get already the first talisman, I will not go at all take the second talisman. Taking into account, moreover, that both of them are 10,000 VIP points, okay? So without saying that much, let's go to the test. Okay, let me my test. Okay, this was some ninja test I was doing. So let's go here. So you will see I'm going to test versus old and new talisman. Okay, so I went with the traditional Tempus, Morrigan, Iris, Dark Star, and Astrid. By the way, Dark Star very good against Fire Siblings now. I have been testing a couple of times, and sometimes you get a surprise, particularly with Oya and Tristan. But anyways, 10-0 and 10-0. Okay, like 10-0 here against the old talisman, you lost Tempus, whereas against the new talisman, you don't get Tempus. This makes sense because Tristan doesn't have that much health, okay? But it has armor, but as you see, that much health. The next one was going with a simple progress team with Sebastian and Astrid, 4-6 against the old talisman, 8-2 against the new talisman. Clearly, what I said before, if Tristan is in first line, old talisman better than new talisman. Okay, then I went with the traditional Masi, Albanor, Mojo, Cascade, and Astrid. Okay, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention. My Oya is level 70, my Kayla is level 70, my Tristan is 55, and my Aiden is level 50. Okay, I think. So take this into account, okay? I went with this. Masi is maxed out. I got maxed out level 40. Okay, I got the level out to max the new armor skin. Mojo, the armor penetration skin, the last one he got, like last month, I have it 42/60, so halfway done. Okay, everything else is done. As you see, versus the new talisman 9-1 before 8-2. This team before was giving me 10-0, but since I moved Oya from level 55, I think, to 70, now it's not able to beat it. Okay, so very careful with high level of Oya. Then I went with the team that always, my opinion, worked, which is Corvus, Morrigan, Massive with Mojo, and Orion. And then you get 10-0. Sometimes you lose Mojo, but it works for me, this team. And then here, almost you always lose Mojo, but there is not too much difference, okay, between both talisman. This is the old, and this is the, this is the new, and this is the old. There is no difference, okay? What I'm referring here is a counter that was 10-0, there is no difference, all on new talisman, okay? Then the next one is versus Clever. I went with Corvus, very similar than the one we were using before, but in that case, because we don't need Morrigan anymore, because there is not Ambari, I'm using Fafnir. Okay, sorry. And I don't have Aiden. I put a tank, so there is not Aiden, and because there is not Aiden, do you need Morrigan for the resurrection? Okay, so I went with the Corvus, Astrid, with Orion and Masi, very similar to this team here, but instead of playing with Mojo, I play with Albanor. Okay, only for a test, because sometimes this team does not require that much Mojo. 4-6 versus the old Talisman, and 0-10 versus the new Talisman. Here the new Talisman performed better. Then I went with the version of using Mojo, okay, and Orion. 1-9, 0-10. New Talisman, a little bit better, okay, but these are not proper counters, okay. However, here I go with the Corvus, Tempus, Iris, Dark Star, Astrid, 3-7 versus the old Talisman, but I won 10-0 versus the new Talisman without losing anything. We can see a video, okay, because to don't make it that all the time speaking, but it's quite interesting than see that the old Talisman is 3-7, but with the new Talisman we won 10-0. You can see what happens here. Okay, Tristan very fast. You see there is no risk at all. I will show the other video to understand what happened with the new Talisman of Tristan. What I think is Tristan will not die, and then it will ultimate and will give you armor penetration, okay? Let's see what happens with the previous one here, where we lost. My theory will be like you will leave Tristan maybe below 100k or something like this, but it will survive and then it will ultimate. Let's see the life of Tristan is what I want to focus. 200, now 1-3, you see 100 almost die, but you are not able to die, okay? It does not die for nothing, for 70k, and then it's able to survive. And for this reason, it's very important, high glyphs. When people say, oh, is that important? This 70k of health is maybe one level of between 60 to 65, okay? For this, very careful fighting against level 80 teams, okay? This is very important to check for this type of things. But it's difficult to test, okay? Like we had discussed this before. Anyways, the next team is I use Dante Octavia with Corvus. I use the new Talisman of Corvus, okay? And then a little bit worse the new Talisman, okay, in this case. Then I went with the traditional Dante Nebula Iris with Cascade, 10-0 both of them. This works always against this team, okay? And again, here my Dante is level 75 and my Iris is 55. The rest is level 40 or 45, something like this, nothing else, okay? And you see there is almost no difference between old and new Talisman. What you were able to kill before, you're able to kill now. Okay, and then finally I went with this option that some people have recommended, Corvus, Nebula, Iris, Astrid with Helios. I don't like Helios, but for only Oya, I don't think it's worthy. But 9-1 here, but 10-0 versus the new Talisman. Okay, again, I don't think this is an important, relevant one. Okay, the next one, it was versus the version of Jasmine, not always Kella Aiden, okay? Let's see what is the difference here. I went with what I consider one of the options for counting critical hit teams. In this case, Jasmine and Oya are critical hit heroes, but it didn't work well, okay? The idea is Orion gives you armor magic penetration, and then Iris and Helios. Helios will be retaliate critical hits, and Iris will destroy the marks of Jasmine. But despite this, you don't win. I also remove and I put Astaroth because Astaroth is a little bit in theory more reliable because Astaroth first bans the energy of Fafnir, second gives you resurrection in case then Jasmine kills something. But 3-7, okay, that this team does not work against this, which is something surprisingly. Then I went with a different version. Corvus Morgan, why? Okay, like they have Astaroth, I'm going to put Morgan. You can play with Corvus there. A little bit risky because it could be that the other second or 13 of the whoever has set up this team has Kayla, and then you prefer to have Corvus there. And then Astrid because Jasmine will attack Lucas because it will be the hero with the hero with the lower armor. So you invalidate the ultimate of Jasmine there, and then you have Helios with the Talisman that has a magic penetration for retaliation against critical hits. Okay. Other option I was testing is don't put Corvus, directly put Morgan because it's only Astaroth, try to hold the line like this, and then put Orion that will give you armor penetration as soon as possible. Doing this is not as reliable as you see you are losing here, something here, but maybe honestly you can go with other tanks, test with other tanks, maybe with City or maybe with any other tank you have around. You know, City Clever could be an option, okay, and see how it works. Then the next team I wanted to test is against another variation. Instead of using Kela, I will use here Lara with Julius. Okay, I went with my own Kela Aiden Oya Tristan with Astaroth, 10-0 against the old Talisman, but 9-1 against the new Talisman, okay? Then going with Astaroth Cesar Aiden, AXA with Jorge and Tempus, 9-1 versus the old Talisman, 6-4 versus the new Talisman. As you see in this particular setup here with Lara, looks like the new Talisman of Tristan works better, okay? Then I went with Dante Octavia with Tempus, and this is the result, okay? And then I try going with Luther, Oya Tristan, and Oya Tristan, yes, Kela and Fafnir. I got this. So I can test to see like how I can beat this team in a different way. I can try to go with, maybe here I will go with Tempus. I believe that Tempus here is very good. I believe Astaroth here is very good. I will go with a Masi. I will go with Moy is already. I don't think so. You need Moyo here. I will put this guy here, and then I will put Astrid, something like this. Let's try. I didn't want to test it because I was already going to the max. Then I can do, but maybe something like this works. You will need to start playing. Okay, so this work. Okay, and then I can test this against the new Talisman. I think it was Astaroth, Masi. I think I put Albanor for protection. I don't remember what I put. Tempus, of course. Okay, so Astaroth, Masi, Astrid. Where is Tempus? Tempus, and then Albanor here to protect the masses. Maybe with Moyo works also. I don't know who has more health. I think Moyo has more health than Tempus, so probably with Moyo also works. Okay, 10-0. Quite working well. Okay, and 10-0 here working well. As you see, when you find a counter, you don't care if the old or the new Talisman. Oh, why tested? Oh, sorry, I tested against the new Talisman, both of them. Let me test here. Sorry. Masi, Albanor, Astaroth, and Tempus. Take your time. 9-1 here, okay? Like, for example, here, the old Talisman is better than the new Talisman. You say here is a 10-0 quite clear, but here we are losing, and I don't know where. Interesting. This is something okay, Lara, this will be an attack of Lara. So let me try one thing here. Okay, another example, by the way, new Talisman worse than the old Talisman, but we are talking about this type of things. So my idea here will be Albanor, Moyo, and then with Tempus, and see what happens now. H2, it has not been a good idea versus this team. And then another possibility is Masi, because it has a lot of armor, with the armor of Astrid. And then we put Albanor. This is Moyo here. And then Tempus. Let's see what happened here. 1-9. This was very bad idea. Okay. So I will need to continue checking like what could be. Like I don't know like how much video I have already, but as I mentioned before, I can only do 20 minutes. But it will be something similar here. Okay. The important is, as you see here, this one was a guaranteed 10-0, or looks like guaranteed 10-0. Here was a 9-1 versus the old Dutchman. So in general, depending on the teams, I think, of course, this is in first line. Tristan old Talisman is better. Anything else will depends on your setup, and none of them. If you find the 10-0 guarantee, it will work for both teams, with the old or with the new Talisman. Okay. I will do another video in the future with Corvus, probably tomorrow, and to differentiate between them. But I think it's a good talisman to have. If you don't have the old talisman of Corvus, get the new talisman 100%. And honestly, I think it is worth it. Okay? Have a good day.